Hi everyone, and welcome to this full print-on-demand tutorial for beginners. As I was scrolling through YouTube and even looking at my other print-on-demand videos, I realized that there wasn't one video that goes from start to finish covering everything step by step. So that's what today's video is going to be. Hi everyone, I hope you're all having a great day so far. If you're new here, my name is Greg and I like to talk about online entrepreneurship, and I have helped thousands of students sell thousands of print-on-demand items. So if you are interested in print-on-demand, feel free to look around the channel and you might find some stuff that you like. Today's video is going to be a little bit of a longer one, but like I said, it is going to go through everything from complete start all the way to finish, covering everything that I recommend for print-on-demand. Now, for the sake of your time and making this as efficient as possible, I've made other videos on my channel that cover certain sections of this in more detail. So as I go through this tutorial here, I'm going to refer out and link to these videos. So as you want to get more detail on certain sections, you can watch that video later or whenever you have time, and you can dig into that section of the process in more detail. So with that said, let's get right into this tutorial. And the first thing we need to cover is, what is print on demand? I really think a lot of people are overlooking the whole opportunity of print on demand. They focus on the heavily advertised things like drop shipping, but when we look at what print on demand is, it actually has a ton of really important benefits. Essentially, what print on demand is all you have to do as a seller, yourself and myself, is we upload designs that go onto different articles of clothing. They can go on decorations in a house, they can go on coffee mugs, they can be printed on different items. But essentially what we do is we create these designs and we upload them to multiple websites that I'm going to talk about here in a second. Now what happens is those websites create a virtual listing. It creates a mock-up of what that product would look like if that design that we uploaded was printed on it. Now here's the best part. These websites now market that product for you. They put it in their marketplace. They do different types of remarketing, email marketing, display ads, to get people interested in those types of designs to see it. And then when someone online sees this and they like it, they can actually choose what it's going to be printed on, and then they can order it. Now the best part is, when the person's ordering the products, it goes entirely through these print-on-demand websites that I'm going to talk about. They take care of the order, they take care of printing it, shipping it, customer service, returns, refunds, everything. All we have to do is upload the designs. Now the reason that this is so good is because you can really scale with just one person. All you have to do is keep creating designs and uploading them to these sites, and they do everything else. When you compare this to something like dropshipping, with dropshipping you have to create your store, you have to do the marketing, you have to actually contact the manufacturers and fulfill the orders, then you take care of customer service, and if there's any issues you also take care of refunds and returns. With print on demand, these websites are doing all of that for you. So all you have to do is upload the designs and then wait. Once they make a sale, you split some of the profit with the company that did everything, and then you get your big part of the profit right into your account. So that is what print on demand is, and there are some really big players in this space. Amazon has a print on demand version that we're going to talk about in this video. But now that we've talked about what print on demand is, now let's talk about how you can actually make money with it. So if I were starting completely from scratch with print on demand, this is exactly what I would be doing. So without wasting any time, let's get right into this. The very first thing I recommend you do is create a fresh email account. This is where all of your print on demand emails are going to go to, and something that you can log into different accounts. Anything that's print on demand related, you'll log in with this email address. So what I recommend doing is going to Gmail. It's just very easy to make an email address there. And then this can be anything. Just make it something t-shirt or print on demand related. And keep in mind, nobody is going to see this email address but you. It's just going to be easier for you to have a designated email address for print on demand as we get into the next step I'm about to talk about. So once you've got your email created, this can be your name print on demand, your name t-shirts, anything like Greg print on demand at Gmail, whatever you want to make it, you can use that. Now we need to go to the 3 biggest print on demand websites, and we're going to create an account with all 3 of them. Now all of these websites are completely free to use, so you're not going to be charged for anything ever, which is awesome. The way these websites make money is when they get a sale for you, they're doing the marketing, they get a sale. Let's say the profit on that sale was $10. They will take a split of that profit. So they may get $2 of that $10, you'll be left with the $8. So just know that you will never have to pay to upload designs. You will never have to pay for anything. The way that they get paid is when they get a sale, they keep a part of the profit. So with that said, there are a lot of players for print on demand, but I find that at least 80% of my sales come from 20% of the websites, and those 20% are made up by 3 big players. The first one is teespring.com. So you'll want to go over there and create a free Teespring account with the email that we just created. The second one is redbubble.com. The same thing, go over there and create a free account right on Redbubble. And then the third one is Merch by Amazon. This is Amazon's version, and this is the only one of the three where you actually have to apply to be a print-on-demand seller. So with that said, go through the application. It only takes about 5 minutes, and not everyone gets accepted. So this is just a fact. But with that said, if you don't get accepted, you can reapply with a different email address until you do get accepted. Once you're accepted, you're in for good, so you're good once you are accepted. Just keep applying until you do get accepted. The main three things that Merch by Amazon's looking for in the application is one, that you're going to put a lot of time into your designs and you're going to be uploading good designs. Two is that you're not going to be infringing on anyone's copyright. So you're not going to be using logos of other companies or anything that's trademarked by another company. By you saying in your application that you are very careful in regards to copyright and you will not be infringing on anyone's, it just gives them peace of mind and gives you a little bit of a leg up compared to all the other applicants that they get every single day. And then the third thing they're looking for on the application is that you're not going to be uploading anything that's spammy or putting spam in your titles or descriptions. When you upload a design to Merch by Amazon, it goes through a review process. So this is where they're looking at the design. They're looking to see if you've infringed on any copyrights in the upload or in the titles or descriptions, and also checking those titles and descriptions for spam. So by saying those big three things in your application, that should give you a pretty good leg up on the other people. Just keep in mind that there are so many people applying for Merch by Amazon every day. So if you don't get accepted the first time, reapply with a different email address until you do get accepted. So those are going to be our three really big print-on-demand players. Now, the really cool thing is all three of these are completely non-exclusive. So if we create one t-shirt design, we can upload that to all three of these websites. The exact same design, we can upload it to all three websites with the same title, the same description, because they're non-exclusive. So we own the rights to the design and we can upload them to all of them. And then keep in mind that all three of these act independently. So it's almost like you have three businesses. Teespring is going to market their own way. Redbubble is going to market their own way. And then Merch by Amazon will do their own marketing as well. They each have individual marketplaces, so a lot of their traffic sees the products on the marketplaces. So what that means is Teespring may have traffic of certain types of people, and those types of people may not go on Amazon. So someone who's on Amazon may not see Teespring. So you may have two different types of people, so you want to make sure you're uploading to all three of these so that you're getting the most exposure. And remember, they're going to do all the marketing for you, so all you have to do is upload the designs out to them, let them do the rest. Okay, so at this point, we should have our email created that we did in the beginning, and then we should have accounts on all three of these, or at least we have two of them set up where we can upload, and then we're waiting on our application for Merch by Amazon. This can take anywhere from a day to 2 weeks or even a month to hear back from them, so just keep that on the back burner and wait until you get accepted on that. But with that said, we should have our accounts basically ready to go. So now the first step to actually getting into the design process and all that is looking for a niche. Now, some people will tell you that this is extremely important and some will tell you that it's not important. Both of them are completely correct. My opinion is that it's important at certain timing. So while we're starting out, it is important to look for a niche, and I'm going to explain why in about 2 minutes here. And what a niche is and how we're going to use it in print on demand is basically just a very specific group of people that we're going to be targeting. So this is not like basketball, but rather basketball is the overall topic. We need to find a niche within basketball. So whether that is street basketball or kids basketball, something that's within the overall topic, something that you can actually target. Now, I've got a video that I'm going to link up here, and also I will link down in the description. This video I'm going to refer to as video 1. But in this video, it walks through the first steps of finding your niche and looking for a good one, seeing what has a lot of search volume every month, but doesn't have a lot of competition. There's 3 tools that I recommend you use. In video 1, you will see that we use kwfinder.com. That is a great free tool. More recently, they have restricted their free plan a little bit, so you only get 10 days to use it on each email address that you sign up for. You'll still have 10 days to find a good niche to go into, so that should be plenty of time. And then if you ever need it again after 10 days, just use a different email address, and then you can sign up and get another 10 days for free. But there are 2 other keyword research tools that you can use that are completely free. One of them is called Keywords Everywhere, and then another one is Google Keyword Planner. So video 1 will walk you through how to find this, but essentially you're looking for something that has high search volume every month and low competition. This means that people are searching for it, but not many other people are competing with you to show something to those people. Now, looking into a niche is definitely optional, so this is very important to hear. I have had the same amount of success with going with a niche that I'm just generally passionate about as going with a niche that I've heavily researched, something that I don't know a lot about, but it looks really good on the keyword research tools. So know that if you do want to skip going with these keyword research tools and looking into finding a perfect niche that looks very profitable, has high search volume and low competition, if you want to skip that entirely, just pick something that is specific enough that you could target. So remember, not basketball, but street basketball, and something that you're passionate about. Something that you know the lingo, you know what kind of designs people are looking for, you know what people are talking about and what the trends are in that niche. You can totally use that niche that you know a lot about and you're passionate about, and it'll work just as well as something that you've heavily researched. So keep that in mind and know that if you do want to look into a niche, watch video 1, it'll walk you through how to use those tools to find a good looking niche. Now, 2 really important things about this niche. What we're going to be using this niche for is specifically on Teespring in the very beginning. After a couple weeks or maybe the first month, we're no longer going to need to worry about niches at all. You can upload random designs, and I'm going to talk about this in a few minutes, but I just want to put this in here so you know that the niche is only important for Teespring in the beginning. Now in about 5 minutes, I'm going to explain all of that, but just know that down the road and long-term with print on demand, you do not have to follow niches. You can upload random designs, and I'll get to all of that in a few minutes here. So once we have a starting niche figured out, whether that was with the tools or something we're passionate about, now we need to look at inspiration, see what else is in that niche, what other people are buying, what other people are creating. So what I like to do is go to Pinterest or Etsy and type in your niche up top, and then just scroll through it and see what kind of quotes are coming up, what types of designs. You can even type in your niche and then t-shirt and see what comes up there, and scroll through and look for inspiration. The point of this is not to copy anyone's designs. You do not want to do this. If you do copy someone's design, it'll likely be removed from these print on demand websites. So don't even think about copying people's designs. The reason I use these websites is to get the creative juices flowing. When you start to see other designs that are in this niche, they'll give you ideas. You can jot it down on a post-it note, you can write it on your computer, and you can build off of those ideas in the next step here when we create designs. So finding inspiration and what to look for is also covered in video 1. So if you watch that, that will also be in more detail there. Now is where the fun begins. So now is where we start to create designs that we're going to be uploading. So remember, these designs are going to be able to go on t-shirts, they're going to go on sweatshirts, they can go on mugs, whatever the customer likes that on, they can purchase it on. So it doesn't have to be t-shirt specific. It can also be on a mug or a notebook or a hat. So just creating cool designs is all we really need to do here. So the first thing you're probably saying is, well, I don't have design experience. I haven't been to graphic design school. I don't know how to use the tools. Well, me neither. I didn't know how to do that until I started finding tools that help you make these designs. There's a few that I really recommend, but my favorite one as of right now, and it is head and shoulders above anything else that I have used in the past, is called Placeit.net. I'll link a video up here that'll go through everything Placeit related, how to open an account, how to make designs, how to do everything. And then also I'll link down in the description, and I'm going to call it the Placeit design tool video down in the description. So for a detailed video on how to use Placeit to create designs, either watch that up there or down in the description. So Placeit is computer based, so you can use it on a Mac or a PC computer. You can also use it on your phone, whether that's Android or iOS. I find myself using it on my phone a lot. I just open it up on the internet. You don't need an app or anything for it, and you can just create designs, download them to your phone, and then send them to your computer when you're ready to upload. But with that said, Placeit is probably the best design tool. You don't need any graphic design experience, but there are also a few other ones. If you do have an iPhone, there's an iPhone app called Typorama, and again, you can't use this on Android or on a computer, but you can use it on an iPhone. There's also one called WordSwag, which is strictly for Android, so you can't use that on an iPhone or computer. But if you have an Android phone, you can use WordSwag. That's a great design tool. And then also there's a website on the computer called Canva.com. If you are using the free version of Canva, you'll have to do a couple extra steps after you export it to remove the background so you can put it on a design. But I'll still link a video up here for designing with Canva. If you want a free tool you can use it on your computer, Canva is a pretty solid option. But with that said, those are the 4 design tools that I have used and I can recommend for you if you're creating designs for print on demand. All right, so once you get into these designers, I recommend making about 5 to 10 designs on the initial niche that we have picked out. Now, these first 5 to 10 designs we're going to be using for something important in the beginning, but just know that overall, as a grand picture of how we're going to be using print on demand, you want to aim for at least 50 to 100 different designs, uploading those 50 to 100 to Teespring, uploading them to Redbubble, and uploading them to Merch by Amazon. When you make a sale on any of these websites, you're going to profit anywhere from $2 to $10 per sale. Now, not every design that you upload is going to sell every month, but as a general rule of thumb, and to give you an idea of how much money you can really make with this, over time, I found that for how many listings you have on a site, it roughly makes about $1 for every one of those listings per month. Now, for example's sake, let's say that we have 100 designs on Teespring, we have those same 100 designs on Redbubble, and those same 100 designs on Merch by Amazon. Roughly, that'll average about $300 per month in earnings total. So $100 a month from Teespring, 100 from Redbubble, and 100 from Merch by Amazon. These numbers can definitely vary, but that should give you a good benchmark of what to expect. Now, with that said, if you have 100 shirts on any of these sites, you may only make 20 sales on each site, but you're going to profit $5 from each one of those sales, making you $100. So that's why I say it kind of comes out to $1 per active listing that you have on these sites. I hope that makes sense. If you're confused by that, let me know in the comments and I can try to clear that up. Now we have to do an important step that a lot of people miss, and it causes more trouble down the road. Now these 5 to 10 designs we're going to be uploading to Teespring, Redbubble, and Merch by Amazon. Now when we upload these designs to Teespring and Redbubble, those two sites, they don't have any size requirements of how the design has to be formatted. But Merch by Amazon does. On most of the items that you can upload your design onto on Merch by Amazon, the format that they require is 4,500 pixels by 5,400 pixels. So what I recommend doing here to save us a ton of time is taking those 5 to 10 designs that we just created, and before doing anything else, going to bulkresizePhotos.com. Now once we're here, we can select all of the designs we just created, and then we can upload them, and then we just have to do a couple things. So we go to the scale, we change it from 50 to 100, and then on the left side, we go to exact dimensions, and we switch this to that 4,500 by 5,400 pixels, and then we switch it to expert mode down at the bottom, and we turn it to PNG with a transparent background, and make sure that padding is turned on so it's not going to stretch or distort our design at all. And then we just resize these. It only takes a couple seconds, and then it'll save to your computer and download the new size that is formatted for Merch by Amazon. All of the 5 to 10 designs that we just created are now in 4,500 by 5,400 pixels. So they're ready to go onto Merch by Amazon. Now the beauty of this is that Teespring and Redbubble don't have any requirements. So we can easily upload those same designs that are now formatted for Merch by Amazon over to Redbubble and also to Teespring. So you kind of size it for the one that has the requirement, and then you can upload that to all of them. So that's just something that I've learned over the years of doing this that saves a lot of time. And just be sure when you're uploading to these sites that you're using the new ones and not the old ones. You can even delete the old ones, the original ones that came off the designer software you're using, and just keep the ones that are formatted for Merch by Amazon, because you can use those on all the sites. So we're doing great. Now we have our first batch of designs ready to go and formatted that we can use on all 3 of these print-on-demand sites. So now we need to go over to these sites and actually upload the designs. Now the upload process and the settings for this is going to be referenced in video 1 down in the description we were talking about earlier. Video 1 covers all the nitty-gritty of uploading your designs and goes through the title and the description, the colors to choose, the pricing, and all that. And just know that the titles and the descriptions that you use on one site, you can copy and paste to the other sites as well. All of this can be exactly the same. So what I recommend doing is opening 3 tabs on your computer when you're in the upload phase here. You want to have Teespring open in a tab, and then you want to have Redbubble open in a tab, and Merch by Amazon open in another tab. So this way you can upload the design to all 3 of them, and then you can write out the title and description on the first one and copy paste it to the second, and then copy paste it to the third, and then move on to the next design, upload it to all 3, and do the same process again. Just by uploading that design to all 3 sites simultaneously allows you to copy paste the title and description, just making it more efficient and saving you time to upload to all 3 of these. Now, something that's really important to know here is that when you upload your design to Teespring, it is on Teespring forever. Every 3 days, it'll go into a print cycle where it actually prints any of the orders that came in the last 3 days. You do not manually have to do anything. Once you've uploaded it, it's on there forever. The same with Redbubble. Once you upload that design, you create the listing, it's on their marketplace forever. Now again, the only one that has something special is Merch by Amazon. When you upload your design to Merch by Amazon, it's on there for 180 days. Now, if you get a sale within those first 180 days, it's then on there forever. But if you don't get a sale in the first 180 days, Amazon automatically removes that listing in an effort to try to clear out things that aren't selling on the Amazon marketplace. Now, it's a really good move by them, and just know that if you don't get that sale in the first 180 days and the design gets removed, you can just re-upload it. Same design, same everything, and you may get a sale in the next 180 days. I have definitely had this happen, and there's no way to explain it. Just the first 180 days, nobody bought, and then the next 180 days, someone bought, and then it's on there permanently, so you're good to go. Okay, one more thing about Merch by Amazon before we move on is that they have a tier system. They're the only one with a tier system. In the first tier, you have 10 slots available. So you can only upload 10 designs. So make sure that you're uploading good designs. You want to upload your 10 best designs in the beginning. Remember, all 10 of them will have 180 days to get a sale. Once they get a sale within 180 days, they're then on there permanently. But in the first tier, you only have 10 slots available, and you can only upload 1 design per day. So it'll take you 10 days. You have to upload 1 per day for 10 days till you get 10 designs on there, and then you basically just wait for people to buy. Once you've made 10 10 sales on Merch by Amazon, you're then moved into the next tier, which is 25. So then you'll have 25 slots, and I think that bumps you up to 2 uploads per day. So you're just going to do the same process, fill all of your slots on Merch by Amazon, and that'll give you the most opportunity to get sales. Just know that if you do have all your slots and you create a design that you think is really good, you can delete one from there, which opens up a spot, and then you can replace it with your new, better one. But talking about all 3 of these, this kind of goes into the next part of the overall strategy here. So on Merch by Amazon and on Redbubble, once you upload your design, you do not have to do anything else. Absolutely no marketing, no social media, no Instagram, no Facebook, no nothing. The reason for this is because they start doing marketing on your designs basically right away. You get traffic from the marketplace and you don't have to do anything special. So once you've uploaded something to Merch by Amazon or Redbubble, you're done. Move on to the next thing, creating new designs and just getting more and more good designs out there. That's the strategy for those ones. So Teespring got a lot more popular in the last few years and they got a lot more users uploading a lot more designs. So they had to come up with some type of filter to find out who are they going to do the marketing for. They can't just market every single seller and every single design because there would be way too many things to market and it wouldn't be efficient. So they developed what's called the trust score. Now essentially how this works is when you create your design, like we just created a design with a new email, we haven't made any sales yet, we do not have a trust score yet. There are 3 requirements to get a trust score on Teespring. Once you've gotten your trust score, then all of their marketing kicks in. Then you will be added to the marketplace. Then they will be doing the remarketing, the display advertising, the email marketing, the whole 9 yards for you. But it's until you've done these 3 things, until you get a trust score and all that starts happening. So the 3 requirements are you need to get a few sales on your account yourself. This shows Teespring that people are actually buying your designs and basically shows that you're uploading good content. So when you buy your own items, it does not count towards the trust score sales. And they haven't said exactly how many sales it is. But from my experience, I found it to be somewhere between 2 and 10 sales that you need to get. So that's the first thing. You have to get a few sales on your account. The second thing is no copyright infringement. So don't be using logos, don't be using trademark stuff. And the third one, very similar to Merch by Amazon, is no spam. So don't be putting full capital letters in your titles and descriptions saying limited edition, this won't be available tomorrow, you have to buy it today. If it sounds spammy to you, do not put it in the title or the description. As a general rule of thumb, don't upload anything that's inappropriate to Teespring either. They don't want to be putting marketing money behind that and putting their brand name and their reputation behind something that is just inappropriate. So keep your uploads to Teespring clean, no spam, no copyright infringement, and try to get a few sales in the beginning. Now the next part of what we're going to talk about is how to get those first few sales on Teespring so we get the trust score up, so we have the marketing kicking on all 3 of these sites. It would be a shame if we just uploaded to Teespring and kind of forgot about it because you're not likely to get those sales and get all the marketing that they really have to offer. Merch by Amazon and Redbubble, they're going to be doing marketing for us, but we really need to get that third part, the Teespring marketing, to kick in. That's where the next part of the strategy comes in, to get those first few sales on Teespring so that we can get the trust score and get all the marketing going. Now, before we move on to the strategy to do that, I did want to say quickly that the tier system over on Merch by Amazon, how you have to get 10 sales to move into the next tier, well, Merch by Amazon actually allows you to buy your own items, and when you buy them, that counts towards the sales for your next tier. Now, the reason that Merch does this is because they want you to see the quality of your prints and see what you're offering to people so you know better as a seller what kind of item you're really selling and how the prints are going to come out and how your designs look printed on something. So just know that on Merch by Amazon, your purchases or family and friends' purchases of your items do count towards the tier system, contrary to Teespring where your purchases do not count towards the trust score. So just know that, and then just know that Redbubble doesn't have a tier system or a trust score, so you don't have to worry about that with that. All right, so the next part of this goes into Teespring specific on how we get those first few sales to get our trust score and get all that marketing kicked in. So I'm going to link a video in the description, also up top. This video is going to be called Video 2 down in the description, and it's going to go through all of what I'm about to explain on getting those sales for Teespring in much more detail and step by step. But right now I'm going to give you an overview of how the strategy works. So the first thing we need to do in our Teespring account is we need to go to Storefronts, which is down on the side, and then create a new storefront. This is going to be a niche specific storefront. This goes back to way in the beginning when we were talking about what niche we picked out, either one we researched or one we're passionate about. And we're going to create a storefront around this specific niche. So we should have 5 to 10 designs created in this niche, and this is where they're going to come into play. When we go to the storefront in video 2, you'll see how to customize it and do the whole 9 yards on it, but we're going to add in the niche specific items. You want to have ideally somewhere around 8 or more designs in your storefront. before we do the next part of this strategy. So just know that if you've made 5 to 10, you're somewhere in the right range. You just don't want your storefront to look empty when someone comes to it. But that is the first step of what we're doing here, is creating a niche specific storefront. This is completely free to do on Teespring, and essentially what this is going to be is like a free website that is niche specific, all with our items. So the goal here is to send people interested in that specific niche to this website where they can see really cool clothes that they can relate to, they make a purchase, and then in return, you get a few sales on your Teespring account, and then the trust score kicks in, all the marketing, and you're good to go. So how do we do this? How do we get targeted traffic to our niche specific storefront? Well, the answer is Instagram. I've tried all the different social networks. I've tried paid advertising, Facebook ads, the whole 9 yards. This is the way to do it, and it's completely free. Now, before we get into this, I did want to say that I have spent at least a year and over $1,000 with paid Facebook ads driving traffic to Teespring listings, and it just doesn't pan out. I have experience with Facebook ads, and the return on investment is just not high enough and consistent enough for it to make sense to keep doing. So I know it is very tempting to create an advertisement on Facebook or on Instagram and put $5 or $10 behind it, but just know that 99% of people who do this, it's probably even more than that, 99.9% of people, they just lose the money. You get a lot of likes, but no one actually buys. So that post that you created will look like it's doing really well, and then you won't get any purchases. So you just lost that money. We don't want to be in debt here. We want to be making money. So with that said, I recommend going over to Instagram on your phone and creating a new Instagram account with the email address that we originally created way in the beginning. That way everything is easy to keep track of and remember the login information. So use that email address to create a new Instagram account, and you want the name of the Instagram account to be the name of the storefront that you're creating in that niche, or very similar. The purpose of this new Instagram account is it's going to be designated specifically to this storefront page that we're creating. So it's not going to be your personal Instagram account. You don't want to use this as your personal Instagram account. This Instagram account is basically like a company or a brand page for this niche specific storefront on Teespring. So video 2 will walk through the setup of this account, how to fill out the bio, and then you want to put your storefront link in the website link in the Instagram description. So this is the one clickable link on Instagram, and this is essentially where we want to get people to. So video 2 that's down in the description, we'll walk through all of this in more detail, but essentially we're creating an Instagram like business looking page for the niche storefront. Now, a common question that a lot of people have is, when I'm creating that Instagram page, can it be a standard personal Instagram page, or does it have to be a business Instagram page? Well, you can do either. It really doesn't make a difference. If you do a business Instagram page, again, it's completely free to do. It gives you a little bit more analytics, and it allows you to link up to a scheduler or an automatic poster for Instagram that'll post out all your content for free that I'm going to talk about later. So you don't have to make it a business page, but you might want to when I talk about it a little bit further in this video. But for now, just create a regular Instagram page. You can always switch it to a business page later on. It only takes 5 seconds and a couple clicks. Now, once we have the page set up, we need to look into hashtags. Now, this is where the niche becomes so important. So like I said, we don't want it to be basketball, but we want it to be street basketball. The reason for this is because street basketball is a lot easier to target than basketball. The way that we're going to target people is by making posts on this Instagram page and putting in 30 good hashtags for each post. You're allowed to use up to 30 hashtags on each post that you make on Instagram. Some people say to only use 5 or only use 10. Trust me, you'll watch in video 2. I've used the recommended 5, the recommended 10, and when I use 30, I get way more likes and way more traffic over to Teespring. But what we need to do is go over to the search feature on Instagram and search through there and find good hashtags that are targeting that specific niche. Now again, video 2 will have much more detail on this, but once we find those hashtags, we want to put them in the notes on our phone. And then when we make posts on the Instagram page that's related to the niche, we're going to put those hashtags in it. And even if we don't have followers on that Instagram page yet, those hashtags will get our posts in front of people interested in that specific niche. And when they see that, chances are they're going to look at our profile and see the link and go over to our storefront on Teespring. There's 3 types of posts that you should be posting on your Instagram page. One is educational or inspirational posts that are related to that specific niche. Something that is kind of entertainment, but also people can get value out of, or they can get inspired or motivated from. That is great content for an Instagram page. The second type of content is screenshots or the actual images of your items with the designs on them. So on Teespring, it kind of shows you the mock-up of what that item looks like if it were to be printed. You can screenshot this, or you can drag it onto your desktop or right-click it and save it. and you can save that photo and then you can post that on your Instagram. And then third, and the most effective thing that you can be posting on your Instagram page is models wearing your designs. Whether they're holding that on a mug that has your design on it or wearing a shirt with your design on it. And no, you don't have to print out inventory and get models and do this. You can use Placeit. The designer I was talking about previously, they have a feature that's included in their design software where you can actually just upload your design and then choose from, I think it's something like 18,000 different models wearing it. So it basically photoshops your design onto models, and then you can download those images and use those on your social media. What's cool about Placeit is everything you get from their website is fully commercially usable, so you can use it on your websites for profit. I actually didn't cover this whole model Placeit part in video 2, so I'm going to link another video in the description, and I'll link one up here as well that goes through how to do this step by step on Placeit. So that one's going to be called Placeit Model Photo Tool Video or something to that effect, so you can watch that in more detail as well. Okay, now that we're posting this content on our Instagram page, right after we make the post, we want to comment our hashtags. So when we make the post, just write out your description as normal, no hashtags. And then immediately as that post gets posted to Instagram, come back as your same account and make a comment with your 30 hashtags. This will be covered in video 2, so it'll show you how to do it, but that just makes it more clean, and then you get the full effect of those hashtags. Now play around with the hashtags. This is kind of the only variable thing. You can find hashtags that work really well for you and ones that just aren't resonating with people. You want a good mix of hashtags, and once you get that mix right, you'll see that your posts start to get between 50 and 100 likes every time you post. The really important thing and a common misconception is you don't need followers on Instagram for this whole strategy to work. Everyone goes and tries to build up the most followers they can get on their page because it looks really good. Trust me, that is not where your sales and targeted traffic is going to come from. Using these hashtags to get people to like your posts, that's the metric you should be focusing on. Finding the hashtags that get you the most likes means that you're getting in front of the most people that are the most targeted and interested in your content, that they like it. So aim for likes, not followers on your Instagram page. You can keep changing the list of hashtags, but once you've found a list of 30 hashtags that's been getting you between 50 and 100 likes per post, that means you've done the hashtags right. Just keep doing that. And what's going to happen is these people are going to like your post, they're going to come to your profile, and the goal is to get them to click on the link that's in your bio that goes right over to your Teespring storefront. Now you know that they're interested in the niche, they've already gone through, they like your posts, and they're looking at your storefront, and that's where they're going to make purchases. That is how you get targeted traffic to your niche specific storefront. Now, a completely free tool that I like to automate the posting so you don't have to go into your Instagram account and post all the time is Later.com. It's completely free to use. They give you about 30 posts per month that you can schedule out. So I recommend posting once per day on your Instagram account. I really don't recommend posting any more than 3 times per day. If you're posting more than 3 times a day, it's just considered spam. Plus, you're gonna go through so much content so quickly that I recommend just once per day or once every other day, even just once per week. In the beginning, you really do wanna get out at least 1 per day, I would recommend. That's probably the best starting point. But using Later.com, you can get a ton of images. So remember the 3 types of posts we were talking about before? You can get a lot of those built up and you can put them into the Later.com software and you can schedule them out each day. Now, the only drawback of Later.com as of right now is that you can't do the hashtags in a comment right after you post. So if you're using Later.com, just go ahead and put the hashtags right in the description on Later. So when it posts that photo for you automatically, it'll have the hashtags already in it. You don't even have to lift a finger. You can just check back in a month and make sure everything's going smoothly. But again, I believe video 2 goes through all of that on Later, how to do it in detail. So if you need more of a step-by-step on how to do all that, check out video 2, that'll be down in the description. One really important thing on this topic, if you are reposting someone else's content on Instagram, make sure that you're giving them credit in the description. Yes, you can repost other people's content. Chances are this is going to be in your educational or inspirational types of posts. Ideally, you want to make these yourself. You can do that on any of the design tools we were talking about earlier, but if you do want to repost it from someone else's page, just make sure that you're saying this content is from, and then tag their page down in the description of that post. So this is how you're going to get targeted traffic. And the only goal here is just to get a few sales. You want to aim for between that 2 and 10 sales on your Teespring account to get your trust score set. And then all of Teespring's marketing is going to kick in. A lot of people think that this strategy of Instagram you have to do forever and that's how you're going to get your traffic. But the reality is the only reason that we're doing this is to get our initial traffic, get our Teespring trust score set, and then all their marketing will kick in. So with that said, once you've gotten those first few sales and all that marketing is kicked in and you're getting sales over on Teespring from their marketing, you can choose to continue using Later.com to schedule out all your Instagram and just getting more targeted traffic. It doesn't hurt. It's just going to be time consuming. It's things that are optional at this point. It'll keep bringing more targeted traffic, but like I said, it's optional after it has done its job of getting the first few sales on your Teespring account. So once that job is done, your Teespring trust score is set. They're doing marketing. Redbubble's been doing marketing for you this whole time. And Merch by Amazon, you're getting more sales and tiering up. The overall grand plan is keep uploading as many good designs as possible. You no longer have to focus on a specific niche. Again, if you are researching them, you can find out some that are better than others, but I have had great success in all different niches, even the most saturated niches. If you're just creating good designs, you will get sales. The thing that these keyword tools kind of throw off is it can show that something's really saturated, but it doesn't show who's in that market. Do you have really good designers, or do you have a bunch of people who do not know how to design anything and they're uploading really bad designs? So what I say is kind of go with intuition. If you have something you're passionate about, go for that niche. Create designs on that topic. At this point, what I do is whenever I get inspiration in day-to-day, I'll create random designs on whatever that is. It doesn't even have to fall into a specific niche. If I'm creating a good design, it typically will get sales no matter what kind of topic it's in. And the best part is you no longer have to do social media or anything. Just continue uploading these designs. When you get a new design, upload it to all three. So open up the 3 tabs on your computer and upload them to all 3 of them, and then they will be doing marketing on that. What's cool is these sites market your listings individually. So like I said, if you're uploading designs that are in random niches and they're not related, that's completely fine, because if you have a design that's on something specific, they're going to market that to someone that's interested in that specific thing. And then if your next one's completely different, they'll market that to the people that are interested in that. And the last thing is that storefront that we created on Teespring. You can just leave that up. It really doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt anything. There is no massive benefit to creating multiple storefronts down the road. If you have extra time down the road and you find that you have a bunch of different designs that could be really related, you can create new storefronts on Teespring. At this point, you can create unlimited storefronts and they're completely free to do. And then you can just kind of make them niche specific. Again, you don't have to create Instagram pages for them or anything. Just kind of putting them in a storefront may increase your chances of getting more sales slightly. It only has upside potential, so feel free to do that if you do have time down the road. So that, my friends, is how you do everything print on demand. That should be everything you need. Feel free to reference the videos down in the description. That's going to be your more detail on how to do all these things. But that's the strategy. That's how you succeed with print on demand, and then you just scale it. So just create 500 designs and upload them to Teespring and Redbubble and Merch by Amazon. This is how this works, and once you've uploaded the designs, you can completely close your computer, close your phone, and get on with your day, and then just check back when you get sales. So that's it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it's helped you. If you liked it, I really appreciate the thumbs up. And if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. And I will see you guys in the next video.